You know, when the season ended last year, being able to spend time and you know, really, it started before the end of the season, and just building trust with the players that they'll give you honest feedback, and what are the macro level things that need to be better for them to be their best self, and what are the micro. And she referenced some of the micro things, but also getting into JR 286 this year, where they were a great partner for us. Many of you have been there this year. There's a lot of places in this league, people in this league, that I think would love to have that as their practice facility, with the recovery and the nutrition, all of that. But there's big, huge news coming imminently for you all. And, you know, so just you've been patient, but just stay a tiny bit more patient. It's a moment that deserves its own moment.
Yeah.
And so we want to make sure we do it right. So I understand the question, but I'm excited for that day and all the fun questions that'll come from that. Yeah.
For Raegan,
Yeah,
I
Sabrina.
guess how would you assess your role in putting this roster together this season, and what have you learned just in terms of the types of players you want to put together, you know, coming into next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think because I've been a coach, a head coach, and also, you know, look, when I came into this role, I had spent some time with some other NBA GMs and WNBA GMs, just trying to learn and study, and I continue to get and seek mentorship in that way. But one of the biggest things they told me was, don't run from the fact that you're rooted in being a coach, and don't ever forget what it's like being the coach. And there's moments that, like, yeah, it's really hard to remember that, but I've tried to lead in partnering with her in what this roster needs to look like, knowing what her system needs. And it's not just about what I need. If I bring a player to her that she's not bought into, the player will figure that out, and they won't be their best self. It'll show in the micro actions, all of that. And so it's been great, because there has been so much alignment from the very beginning in how she sees the game, how she sees a locker room culture. I just trust her so much, and because the players also trust her. So it's not been just me, it's been a partnership. And then you guys heard from KP and De'Erica, like, it's a partnership with them as well. I know, she knows, when we've recruited, your best recruiters are your players. And I think there's things that are different between college and pro, absolutely, respectfully, yes. But one thing that's not different is players sniff each other out fast. They know, there are no secrets between them, and we utilize them as a great resource tool, and not just like, what are the skill sets people bring in, but what type of people are they? What type of teammates are they? Emma Cannon, have you guys talked with Emma Cannon?
She's next.
She's next. Emma,
Amazing human.
like, she's as important to this team and what we're doing and what we've been doing as anybody. And we don't know that without the feedback from De'Erica and KP and Danielle Robinson, who had experience with her. So we are because they are, is what I'm trying to say.
Justin.
Lynn, I don't know if you heard Azrae talking about you. She basically mentioned your humility allows you to connect to the players and got them to buy in. When you hear players under you talk about you like this, where you were able to secure buy-in based on that, like, what does that mean to you, and do you think that that is something that can propel you guys forward in terms of building relationships with players coming in?
No, I didn't hear that. That's nice. But yeah, I don't coach, you know, for the ink for myself. I love challenging players and seeing somebody go from one place to the next, and being, you know, a support and something along the way. Like, that's why I do what I do. And I'm also competitive as hell, but it's the relationships with the players. And yeah, I think, you know, again, that's humbling to hear, you know, it is. And I don't ever want this to be about me. I just get to, call timeouts and make decisions like that, but it's about the players, from now until I hang up the whistle.
Edwin, second.
Well, Raegan, I know you want to talk about that permanent practice at the end of the time, but, I hear soon, and I just don't know, is soon in the next couple of weeks? Is it maybe something in 2026? Can you have a timeline for when soon might be?
I don't know, let me Google, what is soon? Definition of soon.
Coming future.
Soon, definition, no, I'm just kidding, but, it's very soon.
Not at the very.
Add very soon, quote me on it. Yeah, like I said, it's a big moment that deserves its own moment. We want to do it justice.
You won't have to wait long.
No.
Hint, winky, winky.
Go ahead, Dave.
For Coach, I remember asking you back at the beginning of the season about, balancing winning and development, knowing that you had, some young players
Yeah.
that needed those reps, and how they may make mistakes and whatnot. With three in particular, I think, Sanaya, S.A., and Alyssa, what kind of went into, I guess, being able to prioritize winning, as you said, but allowing them to kind of get those reps and the experience that they need for their development?
Yeah, and that part's hard in this league because it's really hard to make a team, and then it's even harder to get in the rotation, especially as a young player. So in complete candor, I think I can do a better job with that. But we're doing a lot of stuff when out of practice time, or if we have an off day, get in the gym with those guys, film, all those type of things, so that they're ready to go. Like I thought SA was really good tonight, and she's been out of the rotation. Just kind of, she went from starting because of injuries to not playing to back in the rotation to tonight playing 38 minutes. And I think just keeping them ready is the key, and it's challenging when it's game travel, like there's not a lot of time, and that's why I say like I need to work on that and how to be better at that. But those guys all have a future in this league.
Hey, Coach DJ. Quoting Azure, who just left here, she said the offense this year was popping, but the defense not so much sometimes. Is that something that you can coach? Like, how do you fix that over the off season, or is that a personnel thing?
Oh, I think it's all of the above,
Okay.
right? And yes, I can coach defense, believe it or not. But we had to, kind of prioritize and all the things. And I think part of being a great defensive team is, how do I say this? I think, yes, part of it is roster, right? Who you have and, who you have. That doesn't, but if you don't have a super athletic, aggressive team, that doesn't mean you can't play good defense. You've got to have an identity of what it is, right? But I also think it's really hard, I will be honest, like coming in, my priority was the culture and winning as much as we could, but do it in the way we want to play, right? So it's hard, I wanted what's the saying, like, they don't care what you know until they know you care, right? So getting that buy-in before you can, defense it's accountability driven, right? Like if you're not gonna get up and do this, then you're coming out. It's hard to win a locker room over and be an asshole, right? So, excuse my language, but so I wanted to kind of get them on board and get them bought in, and so then next year there can be more accountability, there can be more, and I can do a better job. But yeah, we'll be better defensively. Mark that down.
Okay.
Yes.
This question is for both of you. Growth is oftentimes painful, and pain oftentimes is the best teacher. When you reflect over the course of this year, how can you utilize the pain, the obstacles, the challenges that this year presented to help you in your role moving forward?
I think we are driven humans. Coaches are crazy people by nature. Well-intending, but a little bit crazy. And so everything, I have a list a mile long on my phone of things I want to do this off season to be better. You can look back at the season, and there's pain in some of the losses we had. We wouldn't be having this postseason thing if we had been a little better in June. Won a couple games more. That's painful, right? And so, how do I tighten the screws so that in May and June we don't drop games we shouldn't? Like, those are the lessons you've learned, and the players, we talked about it, after we beat Phoenix and we heard that Seattle won, it's like, those games do matter, those moments do matter. So just, you learn, unfortunately, you learn more from failing, right? Or coming up short, that's life. And so you gotta accept that, learn from it, and move on.
Let's go to Andrew Jones on Zoom.
Thanks as always. I wanted to know first, who gave the halftime speech with you between these two press conference moments of the exit interview before you came back into the second part of this exit interview?
What?
I was saying, who gave the halftime speech, you and Raegan?
Oh, yeah. We were like chest bumping out there and like firing each other up.
Ice bath, I need an ice
Yeah,
bath.
so we're ready now.
Lynne, just want to ask you, with the energy that Raegan brings, the positivity that she brings, how very candid and funny she is, what was your favorite moment this season with Raegan in terms of just interacting with her and all that? And Raegan, what was your favorite Lynne moment in terms of her quotes? Because she definitely has a lot of great philosophical quotes. So Lynne, for you first.
Yeah, so my birthday was August 28th, and we had film in the morning, and so I was all prepped with film and everything. The team is in the film room, and so I was like, all right, guys, thing. And Raegan's like, I'm sorry, just I need to talk to you guys first. And I'm kind of like, normally if she's gonna talk, she's like, hey, give me a few minutes. And so then she starts hammering the team about being on time and act like a pro, and I'm kind of like, okay, we have a big game tomorrow. Can we maybe do this another time? And then Emma Cannon, who's the best teammate in the planet, she's like, you know what, Raegan, that's not fair. Starts, and then Rakia's jumping in, and then they stand up like they're about to fight.
Rakia threw a water bottle.
And
she
I
was like,
I went
Rakia
like
said-
this, like, oh
Yeah,
God.
and then Rakia threw it at Ray. She's like, we want to talk about late, Ray. Ray, you're always late. And they were like, why are you
So
bringing
there was
me
like
into
this
it?
fight so then Emma and Rakia left like they were gonna fight. This is all on me. Then they come in with balloons and flowers, and I about died. So they got me really good, and that was the genesis came from Raegan.
And the
so
only people that knew about it were me, Rakia,
they got me
Ray,
good. And the rest of the team too. They're like,
Emma. And he was like, whoa. De'Eric was crying. It was too real.
it was
Sorry.
good. It was good.
It was fun. Little joke.
Yeah, that was the best moment.
My favorite, Lynne has like funny ways of saying things all the time, just little like cliche phrases, but I don't know, she brings humor. There's too many to.
We all have our own favorites.
Yeah, we have so many.
There's like,
Call them like Lynne Proverbs.
I know, it's kind of like that Montana State or Montana football coach. You guys look him up.
Yeah.
On Instagram. She's got some good ones. I'm looking forward to an off season really with her from like the get. And we have to travel a lot of places. We were in Turkey last year. I don't know, should we Turkish bath? No. We had some fun moments, yeah.
Thanks, she said, appreciate you.
Jackie.
And thank you for what you're staying on with us. So thank you. I know it's late for you.
Jackie, and then we'll finish with Eleanor.
So that was actually a great segue, because you both have talked about building culture. Obviously from this side we can see that it's a lot different, because we've been here for a while, so it's definitely a different culture. But when you kind of look back on where you started and the culture that's developed, where you can have these scary moments and then balloons come in the room, how does that make you feel to say, yes, we not only achieved it, but the ceiling is still so very high for us?
They hear from me all the time. They need to
Yeah.
hear from me.
I'm not sure exactly the question. So what gives us confidence?
You know,
What was it? Yeah.
No, not
Sorry.
confidence per se, but you can look at this and you
Yeah.
can say the culture that we wanted to
Yeah,
build,
okay.
we definitely succeeded in doing
Yeah.
that, but you still have a very high ceiling, so
Mhm.
just reflect on that as
Yeah.
as you continue to grow.
Well, I think KP said it in her presser. She's mentioned it before. We're very, very driven, competitive people. So perspective hasn't totally sunk in yet, but we've got a lot of experience and and that is something I'm really impressed with Lynn, is that her ability to gain perspective quickly. And just her maturity and experience, and that really shines through. But so we're not all the way there yet, because what we're doing right now is seeing all the things that we have to be better at.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, this wasn't good enough, and this wasn't good enough. And because we, I think, you've seen it from our players, so driven, so competitive, and hold ourselves to such a high standard, like, I'll just say this, we're not in playoffs. We lost that game, and I have a feeling KP's walking around like, damn, came here to do this for them. It's my fault. I should have done this, I should have done that. She was hired to help us get there, and I have a feeling she's walking around like, damn it, I failed them. I gotta be better at this, this, and this. I'm walking around feeling like, man, I gotta be better. I should have done this, a deer. Like, if you go down those, everyone thinks it's their fault. And like, mature, experienced people that can gain perspective do hold on to that self-accountability, but also start to move things into its right place. And it's like, okay, this is ours, and this is mine, and this is her space to grow in, and how can I support it all? So right now, we know through our maturity the culture's in a good place, but we can't, that's a daily thing, you can't ever rest on it. But we also just see so many things that and we want to get better, and we will. We're very committed to doing that, and grateful that it's not just on one of our shoulders, it's both of ours. It's our ownership, it's our business ops, it's our medical staff, it's our players. Like, so many people are willing to get into the trenches with us.
Onward.
And for Raegan, with such a positive second half of the season and the buy-in from the roster, is this a team as constructed that you want to run it back? Mm-hmm. And will it be tough to run it back with this team?
Yeah, I think, again, it's always tough to run it back. I mean, I'm looking at that right there. Like, success is really hard to sustain. And momentum's really hard to hold on to. And we do have positive momentum from the second half. And I do think, again, like, Julie Alleman was significant to that growth. We had, she was coming off of injury and Eurobasket and all of that. And so we'll do everything we can to make sure the right pieces stay. And maybe it's like putting people in a different spot, but also addressing some needs that we have. And this is going to be such a wild, one of the most transformational, hold on, buckle up, Buttercup, off seasons for the entire league. And I'm here for it.
You say
Yes,
we can't
yes.
wait.
Yeah, we're here for it. And this, as an organization, has been preparing for this off season for years, and we're ready for it.
We'll go to Jennifer on Zoom and then finish with the guys.
Jennifer Porty from Let's Talk Women in Basketball. My question is for both of you. What advice would you give to future LA Sparks draftees about succeeding with this organization?
It's a great question.
Yeah.
I mean, from my chair, it would be, we over me. You gotta buy into your own success will come when you buy into it being about the group succeeding. It's basketball karma. It's just how it works. You make it not about yourself, and it always happens to, you get the sunshine on you. So, and then, I think work ethic, if you get drafted into this league, you're good enough, right? So, if you're making a team, you're good enough, but you've got to want to be great. And the one thing that I don't tolerate very well is apathy or lack of work ethic. If you want something, then earn it. And I think those are the two things. It's we over me. I used to have a saying in college, it's all in or you're in the way. And that's kind of what I'm looking for with who we got.
Yeah,
And kindness.
great.
Just a quick one from me for Coach. From a scheme perspective, was there any sort of trend that stood out this year that may influence how you approach next season?
That's a good question too. Trend in terms of like with the league or with our team, or what do you mean?
Just league-wide.
I mean, we've hammered it. We've got to be better defensively. The teams that don't turn it over tend to win more games. The teams that can get, key stops. I mean, there's a lot, and that's a great question that I wish I had a better answer for right now. I need to think on that. Yeah, health matters. But some of that is just you can't anticipate that or plan for that. I'm gonna call you at 3 a.m. when I come up with a better answer.
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you guys again. Appreciate it.